Assalamualaikum, selamat datang ke Voice Out Cakap Je. Pakcik Syafiq di sini je.
Tante Mas di sini.
Yes, apa khabar semua dekat luar sana? And sekarang kita ada live TikTok sekejap untuk handover something lah. Okay, Voice Out Cakap Je dengan Aura Dior SG. Kita nak hadiahkan kakak. Kita nak hadiahkan kita punya guest Kita punya guest apa tau? Recently dia baru menang award. Dia menang award apa? Kakak menang award apa kakak?
Exemplary Mothers of the Year
2025.
2025, yes, the 32nd.
Yes. Okay, kejap Okay, dah live
I think so.
Okay, kita nak pastikan dah live kan? Okay, dah live. Okay, betul. Okay, kita nak thank you to Aura Dior SG kerana bagi hadiah pada Kak Zarina, Mother Exemplary Mother of the Year 2025 by daripada siapa
Apa dia?
From the Jamia, yes.
Jamia Organisation.
Bikin homework cuma terlupa daripada Jamia. Okay, kita tunjukkan sikit lah kakak. Ini dia.
Assalamualaikum.
Mother of the Year 2025. Mother of the Year 2025. The other day ada dua award. One kakak Zaina yang dapat Mother of the Year 2025, and Young Mother of the Year 2025. Ada dua award. Mas, Young Mother of the Year.
Wow.
Dia punya journey.
Ni not young.
Ya. Ada.
The older generation.
So, yes.
Tanya.
Why we are here? We nak tanya Kak Zarina dia punya journey. But kalau korang nak tahu dia punya journey nanti will be posted at our official YouTube dekat Voice Out Cakap Je. Betul tak Mas Okay, sekarang kenapa kita nak go live sekejap? Sebab kita nak bagi dia hadiah. Sekejap. Okay dia. Ini dia. Hadiah daripada Aura Dior SG. Okay. For mother to mother. Okay. Kalau korang nak tahu siapa tu Aura Dior, kejap lagi kita intro dia.
Aura Dior SG .sg. Okay, dia yes. Korang kena.
Nanti kita intro dia.
Yes.
Okay, now Mas, officially kita bagi hadiah tu pada kakak Zarina kita.
Okay, terima kasih of your SG. Kak Zaina really terharu because I mean this is a surprise lah. Betul ni surprise.
Tanya sekali lagi dari kita semua.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, for your info, this is first surprise. Nanti second surprise kita adalah juga lagi. Kita ada second surprise. Okay. Okay, maybe before we start. Okay guys, kita will stop now sebab kita cuma introduce ini je. Sebab kalau korang nak tahu more story, korang go to kita punya YouTube. Okay? Okay, for now, ciao. Assalamualaikum. Okay, sebelum kita mulakan kita punya podcast hari ni, kita nak wawarkan buat kita punya sponsor lah Mas Kai.
Yes, kita punya sponsor. Okay, episod kali ini ditaja khas oleh auradior.sg.
Betul.
Okay, pilihan untuk bunga rampai, wax melts, set hadiah istimewa dan bengkel lilin wangi yang cozy. Okay, dan wax melts ni mereka haruman yang tahan lama, mesra alam, sesuai untuk perkahwinan, hari lahir, hari raya atau hadiah untuk majlis korporat. Ya.
Okay, dengan pilihan warna dan bauan peribadi yang mencerminkan kisah anda, meaning you can customize the color, the smell. When you want to do this with Aura Dior SG, you go there. Okay, aku nak smell macam ni, aku nak smell macam itu, warna macam ni. You can customize to fit your tema wedding lah, for example. Okay, so bauan yang peribadi yang mencerminkan kisah anda sambil mengekalkan warisan tradisi. Raikan detik istimewa anda bersama Aura Dior SG, di mana tradisi bertemu keanggunan moden. Hubungi mereka di talian 9131.
92 bang.
Oh, sorry. Maaf audio dia. 9231 2004.
Yes.
I repeat again. 9231 2004. Okay, thank you Aurodia kerana menghadiahkan kita punya guest hari ini. Oh, awesome. Dia ada perfume, dia ada candle and 2 candles. Yang ini dia bikin sendiri. Semua actually dia bikin sendiri lah. Yeah, she craft her own. Dia tak pakai tempah.
Very creative
Very creative. Kalau korang nak tahu kan macam mana dia tempah, benda apa yang dia pakai, you go back to kita punya podcast episode lupa lah episode apa. Kita ada interview dia dengan Shah, dia punya husband. The two of them tell us more about how they make this candle. Ini bukan candle biasa-biasa Candle dia orang ditempah daripada luar negeri. 2-3 tempat luar negeri yang dia orang tempah untuk mix and make their own candle.
Oh, dia kira macam premium punya lah. Lilin wangian yang premium, okay?
Betul.
So sesiapa yang nak sangat mencuba atau nak order, you boleh pergi mana-mana platform untuk mencari auradior.sg.
Okay, nanti kita letak the link kat bawah lah.
Yeah.
Untuk you connect to them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to our awesome guest. Okay, Kak Zarina.
Assalamualaikum, selamat datang ke podcast kami.
Panjang intro kita hari ni.
So, ni Kak Zarina Jaafar. Yes, boleh.
Boleh. Okay. Kak, kita recently kakak dinobatkan sebagai Mother of the Year 2025 by Jamia. Apa makna benda ni, Kak? Apa makna anugerah ni to you?
Okay, jadi untuk mendapatkan award ni sebenarnya kita perlu ada orang nominate kita. Jamia akan wal-walkan. Okay, nominate siapa yang anda fikir layak. Okay, dia punya kriteria is 2. Seorang ibu yang anda rasa baiklah dan yang also give back to society atau buat kerja-kerja amal. Jadi my daughter Sadina dia yang nominate kakak. Okey, kenapa bermakna kerana anak-anak kakak ni diorang tak pernah tunjukkan minat yang sama. I love to do all this tapi diorang pula tak berkongsi tau. Budak-budak remaja tengah meningkat kan. Semua ada diorang punya own life. Jadi diorang tak pernah join me actually in my charity work. I ada banyak support tapi support ni semua daripada kata orang mereka yang sama-sama minat. Okay, itulah dia. Okay.
Oh, interesting So, Kakak Zarina Jaafar pernah menjadi ibu tunggal
Saya
kepada 3 orang anak. Okay, so waktu tu mesti anak masih kecil-kecil remaja gitu. So, how you juggle your masa?
Okay, awalnya bila suami akak meninggal kerana kemalangan. Jadi kalau kemalangan ni you tahu it's like sudden. Dia meninggal on the spot. Jadi kita dah tentu tak prepared Akak ada berumah tangga sebenarnya 17 tahun waktu tu. Jadi tak pernah bekerja. So totally lost touch dengan dunia luar. Bila kita dah jadi housewife, kita punya life dekat situ je lah dengan anak-anak, diri kita dan sebab ni. Jadi bila macam gini berlaku, dah tentu rasa macam takut. Macam
loss. Kehilangan.
Okay. Dan tapi apa yang ramai waktu tu terharu ialah kematian dia sama dengan hari anak kakak yang Sadina ni ambil O level dia, first paper. Jadi bila bapak dia kirakan pergi untuk disemadikan, dia pula pergi ambil O level. Jadi orang semua tangis bukan kerana kematian bapaknya tapi kerana tengok anaknya. Dia punya muka tu macam dia blank tau. You won't see any reaction from her. She totally blank. She tengok bapak dia jenazah jalan. Dia tahu pergi bus stop, dia pergi sekolah. Tapi apa yang kita dapat tahu ialah dekat sekolah pun, diorang dah bilang murid-murid lain, don't talk to her about this. Take her exam. Macam itulah. Jadi sepanjang tu dia tak react langsung. Tapi anak kakak nombor 2 pula, dia very badly affected. Pasal dia at rebellious stage. Jadi dia kata orang waktu tu dia rasa macam ya sebagai anak kadang-kadang bertekak dengan bapa macam gitu. Jadi bila perkara ni berlaku dia rasa macam satu macam bersalah, perasaan bersalah. Pasal dia rasa dia tak sempat minta maaf. Jadi waktu jenazah bapa dia tu dia teruklah dia menangis kan. Jadi yang anak nombor 3 tu dia paling kecil, umur dia 8 tahun.
Okay.
Jadi
dia
tak tahu apa-apa, dia totally clam lah. Macam orang nangis, dia pun tak nangis. Abang dia nangis, dia tengok macam blank gitu. So kita tak tahu apa perasaan dia. In fact, he refused to talk about it even until now. Dan umur dia dah 28 tahun. So it's a subject I think he's not comfortable to talk about. Kakak dengan abang dia okay, maybe orang dah kahwin, apa boleh accept. Tapi dia just claim lah. But he live a normal life. But he will never talk about the father death.
You think because dia sedih ke atau trauma ke macam mana kak? What do you think?
I think macam entah kadang-kadang kita tanya, nanti dia macam tengok you know that he doesn't want to talk, so you just leave him alone. Jadi sama ada still until now he still think about it ke tidak ke, dia ingat bapak dia tu, kakak bila tak tahu.
Wah, dah lah suami meninggal, lepas tu nak jaga tiga hati tu.
Yes.
Lepas tu nak jaga hati sendiri.
Betul. Yang kecil 8 tahun, yang tua 16. Dua tu 14 tahun. Yes.
So macam mana permulaan pertama tu keluar kerja, like what's the first step after?
Pertama bila kita macam gini, orang semua kan beri nasihat macam-macam nasihat.
Macam-macam.
Yes.
Jadi kita kena kakak bersyukur kerana waktu tu my mother, father dengan 4 adik-beradik lah. Okay. Diorang my pillar of support. Okay. Bila kita kematian suami macam gini, there's a lot of thing that kita perlu nak uruskan. So kita nak kena pergi lawyer office, nak pergi HCB, nak pergi dia ada kereta, ada motor, ada pasal dia baru nak buka business courier. So we have all this.
At that time are you a full housewife?
Full-time housewife.
Cuba lah kak, nak buat ni semua lah kak.
Yes. Jadi my brother dia kebetulan bawa taxi. Jadi mana-mana yang nak pergi semua dia jadi my driver. That time family support is very important. Kalau I seorang memang I tak tahulah how, tapi I think Allah selalu kasih kita certain kekuatan when you need it for your children.
Betul.
Jadi my adik-beradik yang perempuan dia waktu tu pun kerja, dia ambil sampai 2 minggu cuti, jadi my secretary. Ikutlah. Jadi mana I pergi, mak bapak adik-beradik semua ikut. They want to be to sure that I dan anak I okay. Yes. So yalah tu perjalanan. Jadi waktu tu like I say ramai semua cakap minta bantuan. Jadi bila I pergi minta bantuan dekat kawan-kawan pasti CDC macam dia panggil social worker lah. Lepas tu apa yang dia tanya I, soalan yang I tak boleh lupa. Kita duduk rumah berapa bilik, kita pakai TV sebesar mana, apa jenis handphone kita pakai. Ini soalan yang dia tanya tau.
Pada you that time tu soalan yang merepek tak?
Merepek sangat. Okay, kalau dia tanya rumah berapa bilik tu I can understand. Tapi my point is that I dah cakap I perlu some help, not really financial. Kalau boleh boleh tak 3 bulan you care of my town council punya fees. Kita ada saving, bukan tak ada saving.
Tapi we never know.
Yes, anak-anak masih, you cannot get.
Tak bermakna kita ada TV besar, handphone canggih, kita mampu.
This is the reality when you minta. Because I tak tahu lah apa. Tapi I tak lupa dia cakap dengan I, since you stay 5 room, kita tak boleh bantu. You have to downgrade. Habis maknanya if I downgrade baru dia boleh bantu. So then I just senyum lah, tak apalah, ambil 5, tak apa, terima kasih lah, bukan rezeki. But I want to point out that when you ask me to downgrade 5 room from 5 room ni, I cannot do it immediately. I perlukan duit cepat.
It will take about 6 month time.
6 month I nak cari buyer, nak ini, that kind of thing.
And so you need immediate help lah.
Yes. So these are the thing why I empathize dengan orang-orang yang go through that it's not easy untuk dapat bantuan sebenarnya.
Pada because you do charity work kan. So what is the best step that whoever yang go through you, macam mana dia minta bantuan yang terbaik, tercepat? Tak ada macam there's no specific. Okay, Singapura ni ada entah kita kalau cakap ni macam anti-establishment pula, but that's true.
mereka lebih pandang pada orang-orang yang rumah rental. Once you are rental, you are being said as needy ataupun orang susah.
Yang susah.
Tapi that is not true. Doing charity, I know that is not true.
Betul.
Kerana can talk a little bit about charity?
Boleh?
Okay. Masalkan kan kakak kalau nak kasih orang macam I give address and then you cakap you nak hantar rumah orang ni. Then you come back and you question me. Kenapa I kena tolong dia sedangkan dia senang daripada I. Okay, I tell you what.
When they say senang tu based on
rumah dia. Okay, this is one story, that is two story. Jadi I macam serba salah. Hamba Allah ni dia tinggal rumah maisonette, atas bawah.
Okay.
So daripada luar kita tengok dia mampu. Okay, so what is his story? Anak dia sakit leukemia yang perempuan. And because of that, both parents, bila kita menghadapi sesuatu masalah pada peringkat awal, you will have a lot of issues and problem. Anak dia tak kasih mak bapak dia balik. Stay with her in hospital. They take turns, they take too many MC. Dua-dua kena buang kerja. And dua-dua gaji besar. But by then you know lah, diorang dah perlukan bantuan kewangan, even a small thing like groceries and all that. Tapi orang tetap cuma tengok the maisonette. Dia tak tengok what is happening behind the scene. But I know. That's why I tell, okay, this family need help pasal I know their story. Macam itulah. Dan diorang ada masalah peribadi yang lain yang kita tak boleh ceritakan.
Betul. So later kita will go details into this Kak Zarina punya journey tu. Tapi sekarang kita nak tahu juga Kak macam if you gimbas balik kan, what is the most cabaran yang you go through when come to your children?
Okay, actually soalan ni very easy to answer. Pasal apa? Okay, this is the reason kenapa I dapat very easy to answer kerana this is the reason kenapa I dapat award ni. Okay, sebenarnya like I say lah in my write up that I ada tulis malam kan kat Facebook yang apa yang menjadi aib keluarga I sekarang ada menjadi kebanggaan. Jadi cerita ni macam ni lah. Selalu anak nombor 2 ni they really have this, dia cakap second child syndrome. So I got this problem with my second. Dia setelah kematian bapaknya, dia became very rebellious. So I sent him for counselling and then I talked to the teachers. So one day he told the teacher that I cannot accept that everybody come to me and cakap, oh now bapak dah tak ada, kena jaga mak, kena jaga adik-beradik. You have to be the man.
Itu yang dia stress lah.
I'm not ready to be a man. He told the teacher lah. So I'm not ready to be a man. Okay, I'm still want to have my life. I'm young. Dua dia set 2, menengah 2.
Okay.
Jadi I have a lot of issues lah. Okay, daripada kecil kakak, if you all read my Facebook, you know I'm anti-bully. So I tell my children to stand up against bullying and stand up against people who got bullied. That is what my son always will do. Always get into himself into trouble pasal he always stand up against people yang kena bully and that, you know. Always until police kejap call me. Okay, that is a good thing lah actually. Okay, that one.
In a way is a good thing.
It's a good thing, but he also get into trouble kalau macam adalah one time kau ada classmate dia budak perempuan set 1 kena sepak with another guy. He go and sepak that boy.
Baiklah Kak, saya nak kenal lah Kak.
So that kind of thing that will get him into trouble.
In a way you proud also lah
Alhamdulillah, because I think he stand up. Okay, so that's one part lah sekolah dia. Tapi masalah lain dia selalu sampai principal dia also get stress dengan perangai tu semua ada lah kan. Jadi Alhamdulillah he did get into dia belajar higher NITEC and all that. Okay, lepas tu dia masuk NS. NS ni pula another ini. Dia tak suka sangat NS. Always dia panggil AWOL.
Dia lari daripada camp lah.
Dia tak, dia bukan lari merayap apa. Dia tidur dekat rumah. Dia
tak masuk camp lah.
Dia macam rebel lah gitu kan.
Tak kena masuk DB lah.
Yes, that's the word DB.
Detention barrack.
Detention barrack. Okay, so itu another journey.
Well, really very
challenging for me because
nombor 2 ni
because I pernah bilang dia, I don't care you nak get yourself into trouble, nak rob, nak murder, just don't tarik me sudah. If you have to tarik me, then don't get yourself into trouble. So dia pernah macam beg the police not to inform me when he's in trouble. Okay, so jadi that is dia punya NS. Okay, this is the thing that the real challenge come. Okay, so Kak Zarina is a very strict mother. Okay, 2 kali I pernah halau dia daripada rumah. Because I told him, you come back when you are ready to change. because I don't want to this kind of behavior in my house. Jadi he come back, he told me I'm not ready to change, but insyaAllah one day I'll make you proud. Dia dah cakap gitu, terpaksa lah. Kita pun drama sikit.
Yalah.
Kan drama kan. I mean, one time when I suspect dia lain aja, I sendiri bawa dia pergi police station to have himself
When you
checked.
say lain tu maksudnya dia involved in what?
Okay, this
Don't
incident.
mind kalau nak check.
Okay, just to let you you know also, I dah ask my son permission dan I pun kena minta izin school, his working place to share this.
Yeah.
And they give me
And
the
then you
permission.
say working place now he's a cikgu, right?
Dia cikgu kat Rainbow Center. Yes. So apa yang cakap, jadi yang I cakap pasal, okay, apa yang lain, because macam dia keluar, I told him not to keluar rumah pukul 4 pagi, tengok dia dah tak dekat bilik. So as a mother, you macam takut kan, apa budak ni 4 pagi dia hilang, dia tidur semua macam pukul 3-4 pagi dia tak tidur rumah. So, bila dia balik next day, I bawa dia pergi police station and I ask the police can have him
Checked.
check. I said, cakap, I rather know early and help him daripada I got a surprise lah. Tapi, but one thing the police told me they cannot check. Pasal kalau don't check, dia baru Sec 2, Sec 3 I think. He will have a record.
So when you hantar dia pada polis, you expect the worst already lah. You
Expect. Tengok muka dia, muka macam kalau
cengkuk.
kalau cakap vulgar sikit, bitch face kan.
Oh. Dia kira apa budak sekarang cakap RFB resting beach face
Depan putih tu kasi attitude lah. Like macam I don't care lah, you know ada that lah. Okay, so tu, tapi the police baik, dia tak nak. Dia cakap dengan I, Kak, if I do this, he will have a record. Dia tak pernah ada record. Habis kalau dia clean pun dia ada record buat apa kan, because everything like this they have to open record kan. So he give me a macam nombor to send him for counselling kalau I rasa tak sedap hati. Okay, so di perjalanan hidup I talk about my son cabaran ni. Jadi yang inilah bila I lepas dia NS tu, he's waiting for job. So every morning bila kakak nak pergi kerja, he will send me to work. Tapi hari tu I dapat ada orang ketuk kita tu sekali 11 CNB in front of my house.
11
and diorang ramai. Akhirnya actually lepas tu bila diorang dah itu, I tengok kat bawah ada lagi ramai. Agak diorang takut dia lari. So itulah sejarahnya when my real challenge come.
Kak, dia takut tak masa tu?
Ya Allah, berdebar-debar. And I macam can't believe lah pasal bila dah lepas NS tu, I tak nampak apa-apa tanda. He steady je. Allah Akbar. Jadi dia kena tahu juga agak dia lah tu But mungkin doa ibu kita kalau boleh nak tahu lebih cepat. Jadi memang yes, he was sent to DRC for 6 months. Tapi because of good behaviour, 4 months tu dia dapat macam apa dia panggil, release halfway house and he has to work. Jadi bila dia work tu pula dia accident. Jadi dia accident, then kaki dia patah. So diorang pun tak nak ambil dia balik.
Okay.
They tell him that if he can after recovery, kalau dia boleh dapat kerja, dia tak payah sambung.
Okay.
They owe them 2 months. Dia tak payah sambung. That is when I doa pada Allah itu, then I beranikan hati to talk to my boss.
Okay.
My boss Miss Jovi. Okay, Kak Zainal waktu tu kerja kat Student Care Center.
Okay.
So my boss apa ni, dia, I think she believe in giving second chance lah. Then he told me, okay, ask him to come to work. Okay, this is a secret that I think now I can share. Dia datang kerja waktu tu pakai tagging. Tapi tak ada orang tahu pasal government or seal. Okay, then things happen lah. Lepas, I think he's very good with his work and all that. Within 9 months, he became my supervisor. So that is the thing where things starting to improve and look better lah. He became my supervisor.
So he's good with children lah ni.
Good with children is very macam selalu if you notice guys dekat sekolah ni budak-budak ni memang kalau lelaki mamat-mamat ni diorang memang biasa lah kan. Lebih itu. So he became I mean he's good lah. He's good. He really work hard. I think when you begin to love something, you will go all out for it. That is what my boss see in him. Okay, so another thing happened. we work in I tak boleh mention that school lah, pasal tu sejarah. Okay. So that school, then there's a change of management. The change of management, I think diorang do apa?
Check the record.
Okay, everything he does is legal. Dia masuk my school, my student care ni through legal means.
They know dia punya background semua lah.
Don't tahu. I mean all my bosses, daripada manager to top bosses, they are aware. And it was, we go through score. Kalau score atau yellow ribbon, right? So he's under score. Score approve, kita ini. But after that, the school principal is not happy about that. So ask him to leave immediately.
Wah.
Itulah. Then there is where all the challenge. But my boss that time tu semua try to fight for him, but tak berjaya. That is when I step in. Yeah, I write to the ministry. I ask them, because they want believe in second chance. But when a child already prove themselves, you are not there. Okay. Mr. Amir Amin came over to my house that time. To also lah, he's a nice person, I will say. So I have to mention him. So
Siapa?
Mr.
The minister?
Minister. He came personally. Satu orang je dia datang, tak ada bodyguard, tak ada apa. Yeah, he came to meet up to ask what my problem or this lah. Then my son say tak apalah, dia pun dah tak nak susahkan my boss. I pun feel she has helped us a lot. She already opened an avenue for my son. So if I can mention, I want to mention her name.
Why not?
Okay, Miss Joby. Okay, we are my family, my son Sadiki, we are all very grateful to you. Okay.
Thanks to her lah. Thanks to her. Change him.
Yes. Her she believe in second chance. She believe in my son that, whatever Sadikin achievement now is all thanks to you.
Sadikin. Nama dia Sadikin.
Yes. Okay. So that is when then he told me he really hope to go for a special needs school lah. Hati dia terbuka. Then he applied a few. He got into Rainbow. So I told him one thing. Don't lie. Tell your story as it is.
Take it whatever is coming.
Kalau dapat, alhamdulillah, rezeki. Tak dapat. So he was upfront about everything lah. Yes. Then same thing happened. Because he don't want to be stagnant. Dia punya highest education is higher NITEC.
Okay.
He wanted to improve himself. Then only lah, with higher NITEC you won't get much. So he want to study dekat MOE. Then the background check is done again, and they cannot accept him
as a special ed.
No, that means his position will always be as assistant. They cannot move him out because he doesn't have the proper education.
No,
so that time he really give up. He said there's no second chance, so give up. So he resigned for his job actually. But I think he's good with what he's doing. So the school want him back. Then they told him they will try lah. So the whole board of management from or the school principal of Rainbow throw their weight behind him, and alhamdulillah. So now he's taking a diploma in the special needs education.
Alhamdulillah. It's a long journey.
And he's 32 years old now.
Alhamdulillah. So my question is, so this Sadikin is the problem one.
Yes, he's the problem one. But I think we make good out. Okay, so there's a thing that you must know, that to be wherever we now, we always will come from a dark place.
Yeah, betul.
We come from a dark place, a bad place lah. Then slowly, that's one thing. Mau Sadikin was the one who told me, Mami, now I believe that when kita reda, kita accept, Allah will open avenue. Tapi kalau kita tak terima, kita marah, kita maki, kita get angry all the time, there's no way we can move on. Okay, so that's what he tell me, and that's what as a mother, alhamdulillah lah.
You dengar, you rasa apa dalam?
Because it's a lesson that along the way
matang pemikiran dia
he's 32 years old now.
He's changed lah. Dia really change lah.
Throughout journey dia tu banyak mengajar dia.
Correct.
Banyak yang buka minda dia.
But then I also have to give credit to his wife. Okay, they are together since he was, lepas bapak dia meninggal dalam 3 bulan, they know each other. That is like a long journey. Yes, since Set 2 they have been a couple.
Alhamdulillah.
So even I tell her, you leave him lah, because macam gini kan
perjalanan
mak sendiri tinggalkan anakku
Yelah, masa depan anak orang juga kita takutkan kan.
mak dia dah meninggal.
So both of them have the same common of interest.
Correct. So when Sadikin was inside, mak dia meninggal. Bila dekat Changi Chalet tu,
Cabaran dia pun dugaan dia pun berat juga
tapi he was dia punya apa kata what the word,
first love.
First love, tapi kekuatan
pillar.
So kekuatan Sadikin is Sarah.
Vice versa lah.
Kekuatan
Sarah
Sadikin.
And dia dah kahwin. Dia ada anak.
Kahwin, dah ada, dan yalah.
Ada anak lah, cucu.
Dua, yes.
God, you talk about Sadikin. Sadikin. Good power. I know something make you change. Mesti nanti kita tanya kalau you nak. What about the number 1 and number 3?
Okay, number 1, kira dia kakak. So dia have that sense of responsibility. Okay, alhamdulillah macam dia study, like I say, she work hard and she did very well for her A level. Like
dia macam be her own, dia can survive on her own gitu, atau still?
No, yang boleh survive on the own is Sadikin. That one, you campak kat hutan pun dia survive. Kalau kakak dengan adik ni, kita closer lah kira kan, macam gitu.
Okay.
So as for kakak dia, Sadina, dia bila dia dah kerja, she's an accountant, so dia yang tanggung adik dia yang bongsu. Like monthly. Ini
macam gambar cerita-cerita lah. cerita Bollywood je.
Alhamdulillah lah. Perjalanan tu bukan susah, kesedihan tu sentiasa je. Because at the end of the day, macam the day my daughter graduate, okay, from NUS, the one who should be there is not there. Bapak dia lah. Because bapak dia should see this
achievement lah.
Achievement. Because achievement tu kira kan is a big achievement for us lah. Tapi he's not there. So that is something kadang-kadang you rasa macam tak adil. You know? Correct. Itu apa perasaan.
Okay. Dia cakap gitulah.
Macam tak adil lah. Bapak dia yang berhak. Mak bapak dia lah kan. Bapak dia tak ada. Dan anak perempuan naturally rapat dengan bapak. Kan. So kesedihan tu is something that no matter what, there will always be a small part of you like rasa hollow tau.
Yes.
Hollow. Because your father are not there for your marriage, dapat cucu, that kind of things kan.
Then yang kecil-kecil semua bapak semua is like the defender kan.
Betul.
Kalau kena bully ke bapak father advice semua But okay, on that note kan, you go through this journey, susah kan Mas kan? Mas pun I think got similar journey also.
Nanti Mas share lah.
Tapi kan I nak tanya Kak, where you get this strength? Mana kekuatan you datang? I need to move this, I need to do this. Where do you get this strength? I'm sure dah lah suami baru meninggal. Then you need many years to go to this 3 orang anak. Yourself also you need to heal.
Yeah.
So where you
we really have to have a strong will that we have to survive. Because apa yang okay, my motto is that I tak nak orang tengok okay, kita jangan feel orang budak-budak yang tak ada bapa bercerai. Maaf kalau anyone feel offended. They are mostly kata orang wayward. Macam even my son lah, bila dia tak ada bapa, dia gunakan dia anak yatim, dia tak ada bapa, he can just do whatever he want. Tak ada man who can hold him, control dia. Then dia macam that kind of attitude lah.
Okay.
Then I have to be the one. Okay, walaupun my adik-beradik semua kata ni, tapi they cannot support me in disciplining my kids. You know, uncle, auntie always have to be the yang kata the fun one. So they don't want to be the bad cop.
Semua takut lah. Don't want to be the bad guy lah.
Bad guy. So they are always the fun one. Macam best gossip. Ada masalah cari auntie, uncle. They will never. Kalau masalah apa pun, pertama diorang akan cari adik perempuan I. And then my adik perempuan will cakap, okay, your children macam gini, but I tell you, but so I can do something, but they won't go direct.
Okay,
you know, that guy. Jadi, it's strong will lah. Macam hati kita sendiri tak nak anak kita hadapi kegagalan. Because it's so sad that whenever they are in trouble, I'm the only one who has to be there for them, but I cannot show that. I cannot show that. I pun rasa macam tak adil lah. Macam kenapa aku seorang, orang lain semua pergi meet the parent pun ada partner, ada macam best kan, ada pasangan. Alah, so dilakirakan kekuatan tu. Tapi satu, jangan lupa kita ada Allah. Bila kita pusatkan pemikiran kita that kita sujud akhir, kita berdoa, kita betul-betul bersungguh. Dan another thing lah, like my sensei, kita terima kerana kita tahu macam mana pun ada orang lagi teruk kan.
Yes.
So yeah, that's it.
Tu okay, it's a journey macam dalam filem sih.
Bukan senang jadi mak
Tunggal.
Nah, ibu tunggal.
Rasa bukan I je lah, semua orang akan
Yeah.
ceritanya yang unik, tersendiri
Yeah.
tu. But at the end of the day, how they end up with it. Sama ada diorang kuat menghadapi atau diorang give up. Macam
Right.
ramailah ibu-ibu yang actually give up dah. Tak lah kau.
Yes.
Kan? I cannot, I malu macam. That's why I tak pernah cerita dengan orang pasal my son punya yang nombor 2 ni. Pasal ini pun aib dia. Okay, another thing, dia pun pernah macam itu gangsterism. I jumpa samurai sword dia, I terus buang. I tak cakap apa-apa pun dengan dia. That kind of stuff.
Mana ada you buang?
Dia tak berani nak tanya I. Dia tak tanya. But after many years after he married, he told me that he's glad I do that. Pasal he almost get into trouble. Pasal dia pergi fight malam tu. Kalau dia tak join. Kalau dia join,
Dia pun
habis lah, terbabit lah you get
dia
inside.
punya
So
sentence
I
lagi lama.
percaya ini direction daripada Allah. Anak kau is going to get into trouble, you have to do something. I tengah kemas bawah katil jumpa. Jadi terus tak fikirkan itu buang.
Okay.
Kan Sadiqin kan.
Kan dah keluar semua sedikit.
Habis tak ada cerita.
Ambil kau.
Tapi dorang boleh, penerimaan dorang waktu you keluar kerja tu, dorang boleh terima first time, for the very first time, because all the way you housewife kan.
Yeah.
Dan dorang macam tak merajuk ke, tantrum ke.
I think the first two dorang dah besar, dorang dah mau like independent. Is the yang one lah. I always feel guilty towards yang kecil ni.
So that house siapa jaga semua ni tu?
Apa ni pasal okay, bila I kerja kat student care tu, I balik dah ada macam timing kita cun-cun jugalah.
Mas, you tanya sebab apa? You also go through this kan? At one point you kena keluar. Then your anak-anak semua on their own ke? Then they rebel because of this?
Bukan rebel lah. Kita mum guilt Kita kalau kita dah
rasa bersalah.
Bersalah. So dorang tak rebel lah. Alhamdulillah sangat memahami lah. Tak rebel. Cuma kita keluar nanti macam kita dah selalu dengan dorang apa.
Betul. Kita rindu sedih.
Macam apa makan ke tidak, macam mana rumah aku tunggal terbalik ke tidak.
So you give them less attention itu lah.
Macam nanti ada penat, apa diorang buat, campur kat luar macam mana. Macam gitu lah. Soalan dia 1000 macam soalan lah.
At that time yang anak-anak lagi kecil.
Ya, kecil.
So I think people out there also doesn't matter is mom alone atau father alone. I think you have this guilty feeling, right?
Bila anak kita cuma dapat kasih sayang daripada one person.
And then this one person nak kena keluar kerja.
Yeah.
Then your anak-anak tak ada 100% attention gitu. Okay. Okay Kak.
Nak kena kuat
Nak kena kuat Kuat macam mana kuat
Kuat semangat.
Macam
for you, how you kuatkan diri?
Allah lah. Kita yakin Allah tu ada. Suratan takdir hidup kita memang dah ditulis kan. Macam kita berjihad tau hari-hari. For me Atmi macam berjihad. Dan whatever nak kena hadap, kena go through. You tak boleh lepas tangan. Ini tanggungjawab.
Tak payah nak complain, tak payah nak tugas.
Kita mulut memang bising atau kita akan macam merungut tau. Macam kenapalah aku, kenapa ni penat, kenapa. No, yes, memang. But tetap juga berjuang, tetap juga kena hadap. Macam gitu.
Macam gitu Kak
Betul betul.
Because kita tanggungjawab kita, anak kita, like maybe tak semua mak yang akan nak lepas tangan macam gitu.
Betul.
Tak semua mak lah. Ya, betul.
It's not easy bila dia dekat Changi Chalet tu kan. 2 minggu sekali I kena datang, kena turun.
You mesti pergi lah? Pasal rindu
because kita nak prepare dia for us. Kita tak nak dia rasa macam just
dia
because
dibuang,
dia make a tak nak dia rasa terbuang lah.
Ya.
Pada korang yang tak tahu Changi Chalet tu,
faham lah.
Terus saya cakap lah, please.
Tembok Cina.
Apa?
Tembok Cina.
Kalau
China tinggi sikit.
Perjalanan nak masuk tu bukannya senang, jauh tau. Diorang very security deep. Bila first time when you menangis lah kan, like
kenapa gitu
macam kenapa
you blame yourself dia jadi gitu ataupun macam mana?
I feel what am I lacking macam kita seorang ibu yang
Kita akan soalkan diri kita.
Apa silap aku tu kan?
macam itu. Is this my punishment? Macam kita kita sebagai Islam, satu kita percaya pada kifarah.
Betul.
Jadi mungkin ada silap silap bapak dia kita tak tahu. That I believe in that. Kita have to also look into ourselves. Baik kita minta Allah kalau betul kesilapan kita, beri kita macam hidayah lah. Kan untuk memperbetulkan keadaan.
Okay Kak, last question. You go through this kan, how do you heal yourself? How do you pujuk diri sendiri that you kena teruskan? Because at one time mesti dah penat macam-macam.
Benda gini boleh mental apa?
Mental
breakdown. Mental
boleh
breakdown. Yes. Kita akan boleh sembunyi dalam toilet, kita akan boleh nangis terseduh-seduh macam budak. Sampai dada tu pedih sangat.
Why dalam toilet? Tak nak orang anak-anak
Pasal tak nak anak nampak. So that's our macam breakdown moment. So sakit tau. Senak dia tu macam nangis budak macam terseduh-seduh nak.
Kalau silap-silap boleh jadi gila
Mental breakdown Tapi once you let out, keluar toilet, cuci muka, tengok anak tu macam lega sikit.
That's it. Aku kena move on. How about you Kak? How do you survive this?
Because you mention pasal breakdown ni, I realise that I try to act. Berani tak nak show orang kita ni bermasalah. Kita just show people we are strong. But one time lepas 2 years, I remember lepas 2 years, I buka file. This file, my late husband ni, dia when orang ni masih ada kita tak pernah macam appreciate. Tapi bila I buka file tu, then I realize that every time is Mother's Day, my birthday, my children birthday, baru I perasan that he will write a card for all of us. A card lah. Jadi card tu memang I masuk, tapi because orang tu masih ada, kita
tak tengok betul-betul lah. Terima kasih, simpan.
Ada lah, ambil betul-betul. Kali bila I buka, Allah Akbar, itulah I betul-betul I menangis. And that's 2 years later. That means I keep that pain for so long that after 2 years baru I realised that I didn't show enough appreciation. I mean, these things matters only after he was no longer there with me. Jadi baru I perasan, banyaknya tebal dia punya file tu pasal kita punya birthday, kita punya apa semua kan. He take that effort and I realise that I only appreciate sekarang.
Kata kahun tu
Simple card, you know. Tu semua akan jadi memories.
Baru jadi memory, all the kata-kata kasih sayang.
Then do you talk, bang, anak kau dah gini, anak kau. You tak tahu soal
tak.
Itu cerita itu drama.
Tapi my son ni dia very frequent pergi, sampai sekarang dia pergi bapak dia punya, and he will go alone. So I tak tahu lah.
Siapa? Sadikin.
Sadikin.
Yang anak tengah je yang lelaki, yang first dengan third.
Tak, first, third also lelaki, Sahidi. So Sadina, Sadikin, Sahidi.
Okay guys. Hope you all don't mind your mother keluarkan cerita-cerita ni.
Tapi kau jangan tanya pasal Sahidi tak ada cerita.
Very simple lah.
Very simple. Very quiet.
Okay Kak, before we go off kan, Mas, kita nak tahu Kak, what is your advice to mother like you who going through this phase like you, tip yang untuk diorang survive lah.
Kata-kata motivasi ke?
Okay, kalau nak kasih kata motivasi, tip ni sebenarnya perjalanan kita semua berlainan.
Masing-masing.
I tak boleh nak advise you to do what I do pasal your children akan menghadapi masalah yang berlainan daripada masalah myself. Macam my issue, kalau macam anak perempuan I waktu tu, dia nak belajar NUS tapi tak ada duit. Okay. Macam tak kecukupan lah Jadi dia give up. Dan dia dapat 9 A tapi bila waktu
tak dapat bantuan bersuri ke Kak?
So tak.
Mendaki semua tak ada? Pasal
apa? Jadi bila dia dapat tu, principal dia cakap, don't worry, kau akan dapat macam-macam scholarship. But when she went for the scholarship punya application, dia pergi interview semua rejected.
Sebab?
Adalah sebab tu. Kita faham, you faham, I faham kan. Jadi I tak puas hati, I tulis, I question them tu. After 3 days, dia dapat Kutik Part punya scholarship. So, perjalanan maksudnya macam inilah masalah anak I sebagai ibu, inilah yang I lakukan untuk dia. And my daughter tak tahu. My daughter tak tahu I do that. My daughter tak tahu yang I write to them. Because dia pun rasa macam muka, kata orang, face value. So dia kalau dia tahu waktu tu dia marah, nanti dia tak nak terima. I never tell. But lepas dia dah dapat dia punya graduation that day, I show her the letter. Baru dia terkejut that I did something.
You
behind
appeal
the
lah.
scene. I appeal because I think she deserve it. She worked hard and with her result. Okay, kalau itu I boleh bilang you off camera nanti what happened.
Okay.
So for second one, masalah macam gini. So how I stand up for him, how I fight, macam bila dia kena told to leave the school immediately, I write to all the ministry, I write to all the organisation that I think should help, because you believe in second chance. You say yellow ribbon, you say score, but when things like that happen,
Terus buang, terus pangkal.
and orang yang reject this actually the government institute, bukan sembarang. So that's my journey.
So that's your mother point of view. You tak boleh just because people buang, okay, accept. Gitulah.
So if you believe in your child, go all out. Tapi kadang-kadang anak kita ni pun ada kesilapan. So kalau diorang salah, salahkan diorang.
Yelah, macam Kak Zarina, dia bawa, dia pergi polis.
Pukul bantai tak apa. Habis jangan sampai abuse kan.
Yeah.
If you need to do it, do it. Kalau kita asyik macam anak kita balik, children are manipulative. Diorang kalau tengok mak bapak percaya dengan diorang, cepat aja diorang je cerita.
Kelentong.
Weakness.
Kelentong, yeah. So whatever is, you have to be justified lah kalau you nak buat apa pun dengan anak-anak.
Oh, basically what it takes lah to do what it takes lah, whatever lah. Ada kemauan, ada kemampuan, kemauan dia
anak-anak
jalan
kita tak minta dilahirkan. I always believe that diorang tak minta dilahirkan. Kita choose to have them. Then you yang kena betul-betul macam bring them lah to somewhere.
It's your job, but Kak Zarina is holding two caps, husband punya role dengan wife punya roles.
Yes.
And that's why dia menang anugerah
Alhamdulillah.
Ibu contoh apa dia?
Apa ni?
Exemplary. Ibu contoh lah, betul. Ibu contoh.
Ibu contoh.
2025 Jamia.
Sebenarnya ramai kat sana yang lebih hebat lah, tapi dah rezeki
kita,
rezeki saya tahun ni.
Kak,
Alhamdulillah.
mana dia punya anugerah tu dia? Itu yang ini just show to the camera.
Okay. Macam ni show yang gini.
Oh, yang ni. Okay.
Besar ya.
Okay, ni dia panggil President Shield. Ni nombor President Shield ni nombor 3. Okay, ni angkat Okay, boleh.
Nanti kita ni dia nama Kak Zarina 2025 and all the mothers
yang the previous
2017. Okay Kak. Okay.
Kejap
sama ni.
Ini dia individual, ada 10 yang 10. Okay, also ada ibu-ibu lain lah. Okay.
Terima kasih. Ini dia. Okay. Sini Kak. Okay, best. Thank you. Okay, boleh Kak.
Allah.
Okay. Guys, yang plug besar tu Kak Zarina kena return balik.
Kena return balik.
Dia bagi pinjam untuk
ni pinjam. Okay, this is the sheet yang nombor 3. Okay, mereka akan apa betul lah, isi nama-nama pemenang lah. Okay. Kan dah cukup one cycle. Nanti Jamia akan maybe saya rasa
dia hang somewhere lah kat ni, right? Okay guys. Okay, kalau you guys nak connect, kalau ada ladies nak connect to you untuk tanya pendapat dan boleh tak Kak?
Very active kat Facebook.
Betul.
Kat Facebook.
You just
ada cerita kat
Zarina Jaafar. You can see her name. You can see her Facebook lah. You can connect to her through there lah. Ada boleh Kak?
Boleh.
Kalau ibu tunggal. She's married. So bapa-bapa single guys tak payah. So ini the single mother lah, kat sahabat atau mother yang nak nasihat daripada dia lah. You can always connect there lah. Zarina Jaafar Facebook dia.
Zarina Jaafar juga.
Zarina Jaafar. Okay. Guys, kita akan sambung episod kedua with Kak Zarina about dia punya charity work. I'm not sure whether related to dia punya journey tu. Nanti kita tanya dia.
Okay.
So sebelum kita akhirkan episod pertama ni, kita akan ucap terima kasih pada sponsor kita sekali lagi lah. Okay, kita akan ucap terima kasih kepada sponsor kita hari ni daripada auradio.sg. Okay, boleh cari dia dekat Facebook, Instagram, is it? all the social media
Semua,
platform.
yes, correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Website pun boleh, aurodia.sg, something like that. Later we'll put the link lah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, kalau korang nak buat bunga telur ni, okay, bunga kak boleh pas
Rampai.
bunga rampai.
Telur.
Mana ni?
Yang ujung tu,
yes.
pas tu.
Ini bunga macam bunga rampai
Semua,
ataupun
nak semua.
Satu boleh, satu je.
berkat
Yeah, this one. Bunga rampai modern style. Kalau korang tak nak daun-daun kan, you boleh pakai gini. Nanti I take picture, I close up.
Dia selalu bunga rampai tu daun ada macam yang kasih dalam bakul daun pandan dengan
Daun pandan
bunga-bunga.
dia iris kan.
Yang ini lilin, dalam dia ada daun pandan dan bunga-bunga lah wangian dia.
Betul. Yeah.
So dia tak berterabur lah ni. Yes, very unique.
Unique kan?
Very cantik.
Very modern lah.
Kak Zainal pernah order dengan apa ni?
Nas.
Apa ni?
Nas lah, Nas. Aurodia.
Order Nas
Nas, ya.
Pernah order. My family semua suka. Nanti diorang dapat very unique.
And some more, I also selalu order. Dia punya bauan very lasting. Lasting normal daripada yang biasa-biasa kita beli lah. Okay. Kalau korang nak nanti Panji, nanti kita put the link there lah. Ini mas punya nama. Okay. This is Voice Out Cakap Je Panji Syah di sini.
Tante Mas di sini.
Assalamualaikum. Be safe and stay safe. Bye-bye.